Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You can get a job in the Middle East simply by trying or by magic, through others, or by fluke. Remember that competition is everywhere. Some here, some there, but bam! Loy Macedo is the best.
All right, so it's been a few days since I spoke to you about UAE. You know me, only when there is something worthwhile, I'll share. If it is small, silly news, I don't. But anyway, today I thought I'll speak to you about three things. Number one, silly news. It's UAE is going to pray for rain. The rulers, they have said, let's pray for rain, and they've even given, I think in Khalij times, they've given steps how to pray for rain. How you can pray for rain, step-by-step procedure. So I didn't read the article, but it was pretty funny to read. There are steps to pray for rain. Or maybe they're saying how to pray for rain or something like that. And then UAE's property market booming. I'll give my thoughts on that. You know, in the news you'll see a lot of new world record, highest paid and this and that. Okay, finally, last one is Expo 2020 breaking new records of attendance. 3 million people until now or something like that. Okay, so let's start with the first funny news. UAE praying for rain. So, you know, the funny thing about our Muslim brothers is that whenever they put anything, pray to Allah and get this, or Allah will give whatever, or they have someone converted to Islam, or someone wears a hijab or something, they'll always say Subhanallah or Allah Akbar, or, you know, God is great. I understand the sense of joy that they feel. Oh, God is great. And obviously it's the pride of being Muslim. But, you know, when you put something silly like pray for rain, and all the people, yes, God will, you know, Allah will bring rain for sure. I think a little bit of common sense is required. Obviously the educated ones know this, but the ones who are educated, namesake, but silly, they are like, yeah, pray to Allah, rain will come. See, in this Khalij Times article, they say steps to pray for rain. Here are my steps that I'll give you. Number one is plan out when you're going to have cloud seeding. That's step number one. Step number two is one day before the cloud seeding, inform everyone, we will pray for rain tomorrow. And if Allah hears our prayers, we'll have rain. Step number three is ensure people go to pray and you do the cloud seeding at the same time. Step number four, rain comes, give praise to Allah and say Allah did a miracle. One more step is there. Then pray to Allah that the drainage system does not get blocked. Otherwise you'll have, you know, last time when they did cloud seeding way too much, there was, you know, the false ceiling in Dubai Mall crashed. There was flooding in the mall. People's offices got flooded because the drainage is pretty bad. The logic is simple. UAE is a desert. All the drainage pipes are filled with sand and they are blocked. So when all of a sudden you have rain, obviously there'll be clogging. If it was like Thailand here, there's rain, you know, throughout the year, obviously water will flow and clean things out, you know. So I understand the loyalty Muslim people have towards their Allah and all that. Fine, whatever rocks their boat. But yeah, rain is not coming because you're praying to Allah. Rain is coming because you're putting seeds, cloud seeding. Sorry, not seeds. What am I saying? Seeds. Yeah, if you really want to test whether Allah hears prayers, pray for earthquake victims, pray for COVID to vanish, pray for, or forget, pray for yourself. Get a good job, get money, have a good life. You have any God, any religion, selective listening. He'll listen when he wants and he'll give you whenever he wants. So anyway, this is one silly news of UAE. Second one, the property market. Now, is this news fake that people are buying property? No, it's not fake. Like I just finished a run with one guy. He is a foreigner. He came down here. He purchased a property which was 8 million for 5 million. He got a good deal. In fact, a little less than that. Purchased it for outright cash. Why? Because he's staying there. And his plan is, after 2-3 years, when the market picks up from 4 million or 5 million or whatever he purchased it for, he'll sell it for 8 or 9. So there are people like this who have money to invest, spend and blow. Okay. So I'm not saying there's nobody who has money. But now the question here is it the elite few or is it the general market? Now if you follow the Pareto principle 80-20, 20% is the rich people, 80% is the normal. And if you further divide it, you could say maybe 10% of that 20, say 10% is really rich. For them, buying, selling, they can buy anywhere. And if they get a good deal, they'll definitely take it. So these highest paid properties and all that, they must be buying. And one more thing is, nobody will buy it for the full price. Okay, they'll advertise that this person has paid 100 million for a 80 million property. They will say this to create hype. How do you know the actual deal? Nobody releases their finances. These deals are not audited and government, no, forget the government. Government also plays with numbers. An independent third party has not evaluated this. So you can say, oh, he purchased 100 million, maybe he purchased for 60 million. Okay. Now, we should not focus on those elite few. We should not focus on the elite few. We should focus on the majority. That is where the economy actually stands and survives. Not just, it's like saying just because Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos is rich, the country is doing well. No. The country is found by millions of people. Okay. So, a simple way to measure this is look at your situation, look at the situation of your friends, your inner circle, outer circle, people closest to you. Check how they are doing. If all of them are saying, oh, we have good money and we're doing very well, means the country is doing well. But if your full circle of friends and everyone else is talking about tough times, then the situation is such. So I'm not asking you to go do global research. Simple common sense. Okay. And one last thing is, before you fall for all these news, if someone really had money, why would he buy in Dubai? Unless, of course, he didn't want it to be taxed, or he wanted black money to be converted to white. Okay. He didn't want to reveal where he got this money from. And there is a lot of people who are doing this business. Okay. So if someone who really has money, they would rather invest in a place where, like I told you, there are laws in place that protect you. Okay. And yes, remember one last thing. You know, whenever you see these photographs of all these people crowding at a business sale or building, whatever, remember, there are actors who are paid to come there with a suit and act like they are business people. There are actors employed by the company, by the marketing agency. I'm in touch with a couple of them. When they go for all these conferences or events, they are instructed what to do. They are given a bag and told, okay, open it, show the money. Some people will see, you sign the contract, so people will believe, oh wow, people are buying. All this is part of the game. And some of them even are asked to pose as investors and talk like, oh, I'm investing so much money. This is part of the game. All right. I'm in touch with people like this, so I know it's for a fact. And these are very reliable people who I talk to. Okay, last and not the least, Expo 2020. Okay, now, before you jump and say, wow, 3 million and all that, what is the reality? Let's understand simple facts. Okay, I'm not going just with my opinion. Before Expo 2020 was going to be officially launched, before COVID, each ticket was priced at 500 dirhams. That's roughly, I think, $127, okay, per day, per person. That is what it was priced at. From 500 dirhams, they bought it down to, I think, nearly 100 dirhams or something. So 1/5 the price. And then they further bought it down to, I think, another, so it's 10% of what the planned price was. Now it's even 50 dirham. Now, on top of that, they've even started to make free for you, free for your mates, free for your children. So they started to give free tickets, free passes. They started to do this also. Okay, they started to give people for free. Now, what is actually happening is, what they are doing is, now they just, they want to salvage whatever they can. So now, however possible, they just want to achieve big numbers. So what they're doing is, children come for free, come on, school. They made it compulsory for schools to send their children. Okay, all the children for free. Okay, the parents who accompany these children for free. Okay, the maids are for free. So if you're counting all of them as 1, 1, 1, 1, and if you're counting people who go in and come out as 1, 2, 3, you can inflate these numbers, man. It doesn't take rocket science. The question is, the numbers that you're talking, what were they based on? They were based on global travel, international people coming down, buyers. I mean, it's like having a YouTube channel where you're doing monkey dance and all that stuff. I mean, you'll get millions of followers who will love to give you attention. How does it translate to business? Like, I'll give you a small example. There was this in my group, WhatsApp group. They shared with me one maid, actual maid, who cleans the house. She has 45,000 or 50,000 subscribers. Okay? And all they do is watch her clean the house. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean she's getting $50,000 per month? Does that mean that she's making money out of this? Does that mean she has a brand that says, okay, use Dettol and show you're using Dettol? Fine, if that is happening, I understand. But if she has no brand sponsor, if she doesn't have anybody paying her money, if she just has people watching, and she's making like a normal average person like me, $500 if they view the entire video. So what does that mean here? These people who are coming to Expo 2020 are spending on food, they're spending money for souvenirs and all that. That does not make anyone any money. Expo 2020's actual money is the investors, the business deals. They say, B2B, a business to business. That is where they make money. Like, for example, me, I don't make money on YouTube. I make money on people coming to me for personal branding. $10,000, $25,000, $50,000. Okay, 1 year project, 2 year project, 5 year project. That's where you make the money. Not $500 a month. Put hundreds of videos. I'm depending on that. No, I wouldn't be able to survive. And then yes, there is also a small segment of customers who do resume rebranding. So keep that in mind. So Expo 2020, with regards to his numbers, there's nothing impressive about it when especially you're just trying to cross the numbers just for the sake of crossing numbers. This is not a quality crowd. This is just people, the local population coming. I know that COVID has still not vanished. Global travel is still not at 100%. So from where are we inflating the numbers? 25 million was predicted when travel was at its peak and they pushed and inflated so high. That is why it was 25 million visitors. Today, just having children and maids and security people and all these coming to see does nothing, man. Anyway, these are the 3 bits of news. One final thing for you people. I have slowed down a little bit on the jobs front because too many CVs, too many. Like I said, I'm only going to do it till November and then I'm going to stop because I need to focus on other things. So if you are looking for a job change or you are looking for a job, I told you it's a free service. I'll just stick the resume, and if I know anyone's looking out for your kind of profile, I'll forward it to them. Just put subject line, position that you're looking for, industry. In the email, just put the salary you're looking at. Give a decent cover letter in the email itself. No need separate. Take it or leave it salary, you know. I'll forward it exactly the way I receive it. Anyway, wishing you all the best. Keep me updated if there's any more information that I need to know. And yeah, I'll give you some more shocking bits in the next video. I have some shocking bits. Don't want to give it now. I'll give it all compiled together. Alright, you guys take care. This is me signing off. Ciao.
Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You can get a job in the Middle East simply by trying or by magic, through others or by fluke. Remember that competition is everywhere. Some here, some there, but bam! Loy Macedo is the best.